Liberia, wake up, wake up, Mama Liberia. Liberia, oh Liberia, oh Liberia, wake up. Liberia, oh Liberia, oh Liberia, wake up. Liberia, oh Liberia, oh Liberia, wake up. I pray. Oh, Liberia, wake up, oh, wake up and do something. Oh, Liberia, try to settle things the way we need to be. Unity is all we need in our love and control. Mama, Liberia. Wake up, my people. Can't you hear the song? Can't you see the shining sun? We've been sleeping so long. No time for guns, no time to do wrong. Say the war is gone. My people be strong. Wake up, oh, wake up and do something. Try to settle things the way we need to be. Unity is all we need in our love and control. Mama, Wokama, 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 Winamoto, Moika, Wokama, Wokama.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. What an exciting way of inviting you again, folks, on this interesting edition of the program, Straight from the Heart on Sky 107.1. My name is Matthias Labindi. Today is the first day in the month of July 2021, and welcoming you on Straight from the Heart today. We do not have a specific live studio guest, but we have a number of issues to share with you this morning. Waking up every day, let's remind ourselves that we have COVID-19 in Liberia, and we all have our responsibilities. We have roles to play as responsible citizens to ensure that we help government in combating the virus. Mostly, we say after election, it's government's responsibility to take care of everything about us, but I'm not too sure government will go to the extent of protecting your own life, even when you are in a position to do that yourself. My name is Matthias. I'll be right back after this break.
Wake up, Mama Liberia. Wake up, Mama Liberia. Wake up, Mama Liberia. Wake up, Mama Liberia. Liberia, oh Liberia, oh Liberia, wake up. Liberia, oh Liberia, oh Liberia, wake up. Liberia, oh Liberia, oh Liberia, wake up. I pray. Oh, Liberia, wake up, oh, wake up and do something. Oh, Liberia, try to settle things the way we need to be. Unity is all we need in our love and control. Mama, Liberia. Wake up, my people. Can't you hear the song? Can't you see the shining sun? We've been sleeping so long. No time for guns, no time to do wrong. Say the war is gone. My people be strong. Liberia, wake up, oh, wake up and do something. Try to settle things the way we need to be. Unity is all we need in our love and control. Mama, Wokama, 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 Winamoto, Moika, Wokama, 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 Munamoto, Moika, Ufanu, Ufanu, Unyamano, Wokama, Salune, Liberia, Abore, Guinea, Wokama.
And that's right, Wokama. Wokama. I don't know what that means. I didn't find, somebody from that vernacular to explain to me. My producer out there is shaking his mouth. I don't know what he's saying. You cannot interpret the song to me right now. But anyway, my name is Matthias, and the program you're listening to is Straight from the Heart on Sky 107.1. One of the best attributes of a happy person, whether things are bad or all of that, is to ensure that you always ensure that you break a smile no matter the difficulties you're going through. So that's one thing I have been able to, practice. And every time you smile, even if you are angry to a certain degree, smile suppresses anger. Try that. Is it now? The two things do not even work easily. So when one works, certainly the other one will, be subordinated. So for example, you're desperately angry with someone and you're thinking how to react. Just practice something. Can you do that exercise this morning and maybe call me back during the show and say, yes, Matthias, I tried it and it worked? Or two ways. How about if you put water in your mouth and you're angry and you start to switch? Because I have a story of a married man who went to a doctor every day. This was not a medical issue, but it was an issue of his wife nagging. He said, my wife nags too much. Every time she will be nagging, nagging, nagging. So, and most of the time when she's nagging, I too do not keep quiet and watch her nag. So we argue, and it most of the time ends up in noise, in confusion. So every time we do that, we go for sometimes weeks without talking to each other. So the doctor said, "Okay, I think since this is not a medical thing, it's psychological, or maybe people not understanding each other. Let me provide you a recommendation. The recommendation is when you get home today and she starts to knock, get a glass of water, put some in your mouth, and starts to swish. What is swishing water? You know what swishing water is? If you brush your teeth in the morning and you put water in your mouth, you shake it, as you say, shake it in your mouth. You hear the children say it, you hear the parents say it, I've heard in some communities say, put it in your mouth and shake it. So you swishing the water in your mouth, you swish, 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 swish from both ends and thing. So the doctor said you should keep swishing that water, even if you get tired with the one in your mouth, swallow it and put some more and keep swishing, swishing, swishing until she can calm down. She can stop nagging. And whenever you do that, once you are not responding to her, it's in every human nature. You're talking to somebody, the person is not saying anything, you feel funny about yourself. I don't want to use that word that maybe someone would choose as their own choice of word. You feel funny about yourself. So he went back to the doctor and said, "What, doctor? It worked. What you said, it worked. The water performed the magic." The doctor said to him, "No, it is not the water that performed the magic, by the way. It is your mouth that performed the magic because you refuse to talk. You refuse to respond." She came with the intention of making confusion and she started nagging, nagging, nagging. You refuse to listen. You refuse to respond. So the water, I just use the water as an instrument to ensure that you control your mouth through as a man. How about you? What do you do? For me, I break a smile. When I'm seriously angry and I'm supposed to react in a certain way, sometimes, something that maybe I want to control. Once you smile, I challenge you this morning, try that. And once you smile, you are certainly going to suppress that anger. Yeah? So try that this morning. Good morning, folks, and welcome to Straight from the Heart on Sky 107.1. This is where we speak directly from our hearts. We do not owe individuals, specific things, like maybe our professional loyalties, that my entire profession is dedicated to this individual. My profession as a young man is not dedicated to an individual, but is dedicated to Liberia. Because if I become a professional journalist by the grace of God in the future and maybe start to work with other international media outlets, certainly I am going to maybe be representing the country Liberia. So if I dedicate the profession to an individual, maybe that can be said in a way that maybe somebody helped you yesterday. You say, okay, this whole profession, God first, this person. But the dedication I'm talking about is maybe where you say your loyalty. You cannot talk this thing about this person. Even if the person comes on the line of the news that they need to be talked about. That's not what we do here. Here we speak directly from the heart. That's why we have nothing to hide. Let me inform you quickly that this afternoon at 3 to 4 o'clock, we're going to be speaking with the Solicitor General of the Republic of Liberia, or the SG, Councillor Sema Serena Cephas. This is our second time announcing he's coming here, right? And he didn't show up. The first time we had some arrangement, it was near to accomplishment until something else came up. So we just hope that today he's not going to get too busy and then turn us down again. He promised to be with us at 3 o'clock today. So yesterday he appeared at the Senate and he explained some things. So we're going to be talking about that as well. So the conversation goes on up to 8 o'clock, and a lot of things we have on the plate this morning. Well, this month, by the way, specifically the 8th of July, is the birthday of a big guy, a very big guy, professional colleague of mine, a brother, from another mother, and he's of Sky FM, and we're talking about Uncle Julius. I can see now how some of you going to show Uncle Julius love more than the way you showed me love. I'm not jealous, by the way, but I know many of you will shower him with gifts and, with so many things, and I'm going to be watching closely. Whatever he generates, I'm going to get a share, but I just want you to celebrate him, man. He's a great guy. He's a humble man. Yeah, to be honest with you, he's a humble young man, and I like his passion for the microphone as well. He's passionate. He lives practically here at Sky. You don't want to hear that? Anyway, Julius, happy birth month. We have entered your month, and we just hope that God can do everything for us to ensure that the lives that we lost in the previous month, we can be able to certainly not recover them and not go on to weep again from morning till night. I want to quickly go to the update coming from the National Public Health Institute. Let me do you the COVID update first before we get to some other political issues. So this, by the way, this update is 6 hours ago. So this is current. It's on the page of the National Public Health Institute. So the total confirmed cases in Liberia now are 4,003 cases. And we have 100 out of the 4,003 cases, as of 6 hours ago. I mean, from what I'm looking at, we have 193 new cases. All right. Then active confirmed cases, we have 1,619 active confirmed cases. Total confirmed cases, we have 4,093. And active confirmed cases, all right, 1,619. Confirmed cases by county. This is where you get really interested. You know that you want to know how many cases are there in your county, so that you too can take precaution. I like what the Bond County Superintendent said. I don't know whether it is in her jurisdiction to say that, but it's on our jurisdiction, by the way, to say that. But I listened to her, and we're going to be getting to that as well. As for the 5 cases, there are no new cases as of now, but currently there are 45 confirmed cases. Bomi County. Bond County has 92 confirmed cases, 8 new cases. Bapodi County has 38 confirmed cases, 12 new cases. Grambassa County has 83 confirmed cases, 2 new cases current. So they confirmed the 83 total number of cases, 83. But maybe in the next in the past 2, 3, or 4 hours or 2, 3 days, the new confirmed cases are 2. So that's why you see total confirmed cases and new cases. So Grand Cape Mount County has 47 confirmed cases and 12 new cases. Grand Jide County has 17 confirmed cases, 1 new case. Grand Crew County has 18 confirmed cases, 0 new case. Lofa County has 74 confirmed cases, 12 new cases. Then Maggie County has 179 confirmed cases. Maggie is just a stone's throw from here, from Monrovia. All right, stone's throw, by the way, is figurative. That is, not too far from Monrovia. Maggie County has 179 confirmed cases and 14 new cases. Maryland County has 37 confirmed cases, and Montserrat County has 3,315 cases. So Montserrat County is the epicenter of the coronavirus in Liberia. So, and we have 127 new cases. So this report is 6 hours ago. So it's current. I repeat that. Nimba County has 87 confirmed cases, 1 new case. Riverside County has 13 confirmed cases. River G County, Sino County has 2 and 4 new cases, by the way. So by gender. So among the males and who are getting mostly affected by the coronavirus. This is something that I again want to say, that the health ministry, there's nothing wrong with you having real communicators, health communicators, that radio stations, we don't have the money to sponsor you people, but we need you people to join us in the fight. Instead of Matthias sitting here reading these things, somebody should wake up in the morning and consider that they have a responsibility to this country and walk to a radio station. Unfortunately, most of the time when you guys are invited, you feel that you're doing us a favor. You're invited to come and do your part of the work. You are a health practitioner. It's your duty to communicate health issues to the people. I do not have the expertise. The point I'm making is, like, information like this, right? We should have this on the radio every day to ensure that people are informed about the coronavirus situation in the country. That a health expert should come here. Maybe if it is, you can say Health Ministry, Sky, can you give us 7:15 from 7:15 to 8 o'clock every morning? We don't have much. We're not going to go through your rate, but we will make this contribution. This is your own way of contributing to the country. From 7:15 to 8 o'clock every morning, as people are waking up, they should wake up to the first information they should wake up to. They should wake up to the information of education about coronavirus and the way, because the more you get the information, Bond County has these number of cases, Montserrat has 30,000 plus cases. So you're going to now consider that there's a need for me to respect the protocols and also make sure that I contribute my quota to fighting against this virus. But anyway, as a journalist, well, I'm playing my role, by the way, by informing. But if it gets to a technical health issue, health terminology that I do not have the ability to explain, you have to hold it like that in the meantime until we can contact the health authorities, provided if they will promptly engage us. Female, cases by gender. Female, we have 1,485 cases. And we have 53 new cases for the female. The male, we have 2,600, and we have 140 new cases in the male community. So that's how that gender is affected. It's now structured by, gender. That's the report by gender. Let's come to total deaths so far. Total recovered. Deaths by county, recoveries by county. All right, so, okay, that's exactly what the producers have just put out there on the screen, but I can't read that from there. But you who are watching, you can see it's very clear, by the way. It's clear. So exactly what I've just read, that's exactly what you're looking at there on the screen. Now, they've just zoomed me out. Thanks, guys. Let me just go now to total deaths, right? We have 1,000, sorry. Can you just bring it down a little bit so they can also see the total deaths? All right, yes, just, okay, yeah, exactly. 128 deaths so far. And of late, we have one new death, right? According to the National Public Health Institute. Total recovered, we have 2,346 recoveries so far and 31 new recoveries. So if we are to subtract out of the total confirmed cases, can someone do the mathematics quick? If we are to subtract 2,300 from 2,346 from a total number of 4,093 cases. So we're talking about balance of close to 1,000 or 1,000 some, right? So let's say 2,346 total recoveries, right? We have 2,346 recoveries, right? These are the number of people that have recovered so far from COVID-19. And of recent, we have about 31 new recoveries. So can it suffice if we say we currently have active or confirmed cases? So confirmed cases by generally in the country, we have 4,093. We have 2,346 recovered cases, or cases that have recovered from the entire thing, recoveries so far. And we have 1,747 now. If 2,346 recoveries, it means, gentlemen, aren't you guys showing something different over there? That is the old version of it. I'm seeing different figures there. Yeah, you have to just remove that. Yes, remove that. That's the old version. That's June 27. Get the June 29. Thank you. So 2,346 recoveries, total recoveries, and we have 4,093 total confirmed cases. So it means, in essence, analytically or logically, we have, thanks guys, and we have 1,747. But let's go to deaths by county. Bomi County has recorded one death so far. Bon County, 8 deaths. Bapuru, 2 deaths. Grand Bassa, 1. Grand Cape Mount, 0. Grand Jidet, 0. Grand Cru, 0. Lofa County, 11. Magibi County, 8. Maryland County, 2. Montserrat County, 77. And we have 1 new death recorded. Nimba County, 15. Riverside County, 2. River G County, 0. Sinai County, 1. Recoveries by county. Bomi County, 27. So let's look at the total cases Bomi County has. Confirmed cases, 45. So total recoveries, 27. Bon County, 50 recoveries. Confirmed cases, 92. Total recoveries, 50. Bapuru County, 38 confirmed cases. So Bapuru County has 9 recoveries so far. All right, 9 recoveries from Bapulu County. Not Bomi, but Bapulu County. Grand Bassa County has 61 recoveries so far. And it has in total 83 confirmed cases. Grand Cape Mount County has 20 recoveries, but in total it has 47 confirmed cases. Grand Jidet County has 16 recoveries, and in total it has 17 confirmed cases. So meaning there is only 1 case now. As of the latest report coming from the National Public Health Institute, there's only 1 case now left in Grand Jidet County because of the 18. Is it Grand Jidet? Yeah, Grand Jidet County. Of the 17 confirmed cases, Grand Jidet now has 16 recoveries. So meaning 1 active case. That's where the health authorities are needed. Grand Cru County has 18 recoveries. In total, 18 confirmed cases. So maybe there's no case now, meaning there's no active case now in Grand Cru County, because all of the cases recorded, confirmed 18, confirmed recoveries are also 18. In Lofa County, 34 recoveries. And in Lofa has 74 confirmed cases, but we now have 34 recoveries. In Magibi County, Magibi has 107 recoveries. Magibi total confirmed cases are 179. So 107. So Magibi is now left with 72, cases. Maryland County, 32 recoveries. Maryland has 37 confirmed cases. Total confirmed cases in Maryland are 37. With 32 recoveries, it means, does that mean that we have 30? Now we now have 7 confirmed cases there. 7 active cases confirmed, right? Montserrat County has 1,866 confirmed cases. Not confirmed, but recoveries. Montserrat has 1,866 recoveries, 31 new recoveries so far. And Montserrat total cases are 3,315. All right. And Nimba County has 62 recoveries. The total number of cases in Nimba County are 87. Riverside County has 3 recoveries, and the total number of cases in Riverside are 13. River G County has 36 recoveries, and the total number of cases recorded in River G County are 36. So as it stands from this report that we're reading now from the National Public Health Institute Facebook page, it means that River G County is free at the moment as far as confirmed cases are confirmed, or active cases are concerned, by the way. Sinai County has 5 recoveries. And in total, Sinai County recorded 12 confirmed cases. Let's look at deaths by gender. Female, there are 43 females have died. 43 females have died, from the coronavirus so far since its inception. And 85 males have died. 1 new death from the male community. And if you look at it, you see that even in terms of confirmed cases, the number of males that are confirmed, with the coronavirus are more than the female. So we have 2,608 confirmed cases, male, and 1,485 confirmed cases, female. Deaths by gender, we have 43 confirmed. That is 43 deaths in females, by the way. And we have male 85 and 1 new death. Then we also have recovery by gender. Out of 1,485 female confirmed of coronavirus, of that number, 809 persons have recovered. Female recovery by gender. So the female, about 809 persons have recovered from that gender. And the male, of the 2,608 cases recorded about males, about 1,500, that's one, not about, according to MPhil, 1,537 males have recovered. Location of deaths. Death in COVID-19 treatment unit. We have 37 persons have died so far within COVID-19 treatment unit. 1 new death has been recorded from a COVID-19 treatment unit. It's not disclosed where. Death in health facility. 74 deaths so far have been recorded, within a health facility. But that is not, the health facility is different from COVID-19 treatment unit. And a COVID-19 treatment unit is an exclusive facility that is, opened by the government to say this place is exclusively to make sure that COVID-19 cases are taken care of here, are treated here. So about, according to the information here, 27 persons have died in COVID-19 treatment unit. Death in health facility, about 74 persons have died in health facility, but maybe were later tested and proven to die of COVID-19. Death in community, 37 persons have died in communities of COVID-19. So which community? Even the information of maybe the need to provide the communities, you maybe can, maybe that's going to help the community residents also to provide some surveillance for themselves. If they just know that this person, that person died of COVID, is that a stigma? Maybe it's a stigma. If you ask me, what do you think? So contacts under follow-up. Of the total confirmed number of cases in Liberia, 4,000 plus cases confirmed. We have 4,003 cases confirmed. Contacts under follow-up, which is, what does it mean? Does it mean follow-up that those people and these people here are not under, currently they are not under the control of the health authorities. They are home, they are in their various locations, and they have been followed up. They have been checked up on, right? Maybe that's what it means. So it means here that 1,715 contacts are under follow-up. And of this number, 107 new persons or contacts have been added on this list, to be follow-up. So you can also check this information on www.mphil, that's the lowercase, nphrl.gov.lr or www.mohgovlr. And you get these kind of updates that sometimes you don't have to wait for us to get on the radio and provide you. You have the smartphone. You should busy yourself reading more about this coronavirus because it's all of us business. So for more info, as you know, the numbers to contact are 4455. They're toll-free. Toll-free numbers are numbers you don't have to pay for. You get credit on your phone. You can get credit on your phone. You can call. In fact, if you have credit, your credit is not going to burn because the numbers are, programmed and they're free. You can call them directly. So how about if you help your country in the fight against coronavirus? Having said that, now that we've provided the information, we provided you the updates by county, can we pause on that a little bit and have a conversation with you? When we come back at 8 o'clock, we have more developments to bring on the program. The conversation now is that given all of this information, are you still in doubt that COVID-19 is in Liberia or not? or you're still acting, lackadaisical in the fight against the coronavirus, you're that person who don't believe that COVID-19 exists in a country. If you don't, then it means that you are. Someone is making me laugh here on this Facebook feed. It means that maybe you just want to wait until that day comes, that D-Day. Which D-Day? Maybe the day that the creator of this architectural universe decides to take your life. I was just riding on a keke coming to was expressing his dissatisfaction in a lady that, according to him, he was having a conversation with who boarded his keke. So in this case, the lady was on the keke, and then they were talking about COVID. So the thing about it is that while the COVID discussion was ongoing, one of the passengers said she doesn't believe in the existence of coronavirus. Her argument was, look at the mad people in the street. Look at that mad woman. She's been there for long now. Since the coronavirus, since the coronavirus, all right. Okay, yeah, sure. So some of the things that we also need to consider is that people need to be careful about the way sometimes they make some information, they provide some information. All right, sorry, there's something I didn't read on this particular update I was providing you, and it says here, note these data are subject to epidemiological reclassification. This, in my mind, what it means, the epidemiologist, they can decide to reclassify. It's possible that this person has recovered, but if the medical experts go back to do some tests, they can reclassify these data. That, okay, even though yesterday we reported that Bond County had 27 recoveries, Bond County has now returned to maybe XYZ number, or this county is this. So it is only this group of people, the epidemiological classification, that is the only classification that's needed now, that is subject to, particular data is subject to. I just thought to mention that. So to conclude quickly and bring you on, you are valuable listeners, before we have more interesting topics ahead of us, right? For you to join the conversation. So some of the topics going to hurt you, well, but what to do? We have to do it. The guy said the crazy woman, the passenger told him that the crazy woman is in the keke. She's also around here. She hasn't died from the coronavirus. Then why is somebody telling her about COVID-19? She refused to put on to mask up in the keke. And I asked him, did you ask her out of the keke? She said, and because he said to me, but how could I ask the woman out? I'm looking for the money. Say, okay, I know. We should have asked her out of your keke. The fact that she didn't wear her mask, you should have asked her out. But in a case, in any situation, at any point in time, you come across people like that who would analysis that way and say, because this mad woman is eating on the dump side, she has not died from it. Why not just ask the person to do you a little favor? Since they feel that the same immune system the mad person has is the same immune system a normal person has, then why can't they try to eat from the dump side at least for an hour or maybe just a minute? Just go right in the dump side as a normal person, eat from there, and see, let's see the reaction between you and that mad person who will be running to the hospital for checkup. These kind of analysis, these kind of comments made by people, maybe it's based on ignorance or maybe stubbornness that lead to people getting into trouble, have serious health crisis. The world is crying. You saw the Italians. Italy, for example. There's a short video I watched about Italy that shows that the commentator behind the video, he was saying that you see the cast, you see lineup, it's the war. But Italy is using her military vehicles, everything that it has to its disposal, is using them now to ensure that it goes to dump dead bodies at a mass burial site. They used their military, so you could see that the entire street was flooded with a convoy, multitude of vehicles carrying dead bodies, and you want to sit down in one keke. I know this. I brought this up because I know many of you are still doubtful. Some of you will argue. All right, let's take for example, Matthias goes there every day. Other people come, they talk on the microphone. Why isn't he, affected till now? Do you know what I do before getting on the radio? The virus yet, so you don't want to take it serious. The protection is your safety. Now another person is your own preservation. Why not preserve yourself? So if someone argues like that, ask them to just eat from the dumpster at least for an hour or just for a minute and see who's going to be running to the hospital. And I also said something yesterday. I was invited on Voice of Liberia to, discuss with another colleague of mine on some issues, right? So I just gave an analogy that now some of you may not even believe in the government. Some of you may not believe in the Georgia administration. When the Ebola came in this country, people say Ellen Johnson said he brought Ebola because she want to make money. So what is the argument now? Georgia also brought sickness too so he can make money. Is that the argument? Let me tell you something. Some of you who are Christians, some of you who are believers, I know very well you follow. Whether you are a Christian or not, you are an avid reader. I know you follow closely the story of Moses in the Bible, who was chosen by God to lead the children of Israel from what they call slavery in Egypt. But even though the people were in slavery, up to the time, the very day Moses went and declared that God had chosen him to lead the people, they did not just believe him automatically. Some of them were doubtful. Who is Moses for God to choose him? Moses who has known no suffering. God will not choose somebody from our midst who has experienced slavery. But Moses is not even an eloquent person. Moses is not an intellectual. People said all sorts of things about him. There's a particular area where the Israelites reached. It was not about who's leading them anymore. It was not about whether Moses was an intellectual or not. Everyone was fighting for their life. Why didn't they say when God opened the Red Sea for them to pass through? Why didn't they say, no, Moses is not my leader. Moses is not an intellectual. Moses is not this. Moses is not that. So therefore, I'm not crossing. Why didn't they stay there to wait for Pharaoh's army to come and devour them like lions eating prey in the jungle? But they crossed. They were not looking at who's leading them anymore. We are not taking the vaccine, and he's not capable to take the vaccine. It's up to you. People were acting the same way. They were stubborn the same way during the Ebola virus. Many of them lost their loved ones, their family members. Some of them said, no, my mama, yeah, I can't leave my mama. I gotta take care of my mama. And my mama will be sick. Then I abandon my mama and thing. So all these things, people say them. Yet people witnessed how some people died ignorantly. Today, some are still doing it. So if you are an Israelite and the coronavirus situation is our Egypt, we need to run away from this Egypt. Even though the health authorities have their own missteps, they are our Moses. They are our Moses. The health authority is our Moses, by the way. Making mistakes, but if we all believe that we are the Israelites right now, in this slavery land of coronavirus, what can we now forget about whether health authority is distributing nose masks, bucket? I returned home yesterday. Somebody stole, my madam called and informed me that somebody stole our coronavirus bucket from the door. It shows that difficulties in this country. Someone wants that bucket at their door mouth, but they can't afford maybe. So they just stopped by. Someone just passed by and hustle and took it to them to sell it. Am I angry? No, I'm not. At least, even though I didn't do it willingly, but I've contributed to making someone to put a bucket at their door to wash hands through some kind of stealing means, which it took from me that way. So it means that person who took the bucket knows that they are in Egypt and they need to come out of Egypt. Let's have a conversation. I'm getting a lot of reactions. Namata, you talk too much and just give us a chance to come in. Yes, come in now. Let's have a conversation. Call us on the numbers. 0777 107 0777 221 223. The numbers you can call us on to participate on the program this morning. You can also join us on WhatsApp or IMWB live on the program. My name is Matthias Labindi, and you're listening to Straight from the Heart on Sky 107.1. What do you think? Are we the Israelites, the prison land of coronavirus, and our Moses is the health authority? They're not leading us well. Do you think so? But let's work it out together now. Let's hear from this first person. Good morning.
Good morning, Matthias.
Good morning, sir. Let's hear you.
Okay, this is Samson Capper calling from Central Freeport.
Mr. Capet, go ahead.
Well, you know, the COVID-19 before your very precarious situation. What do I mean? During Ebola, at least there were some, buckets that were shared among us. But for the COVID-19, we have not observed that. And you know, yeah, we are here. We try to help ourselves. Look like you see that somebody stole your pocket yesterday. Oh, I'm sorry for you. Yeah, but you're bad one today.
Yeah, it's a contribution. Even though I didn't do it, something I didn't do it willingly, but it's a contribution. At least that person should
I know. I mean, you know, like the country. Look, you see, let me tell you, Matthias, this world we're living in, it's a teaching world. We are not living like yesterday. If people talking to President, we are take the vaccine. But you think President, we are be so I cannot wait to go to where the country that is not protected. I mean, we keep talking, keep politics in this country. And you know, the president of the Republic, like the way he take the vaccine or not. I mean, it should not be our concern.
Okay, thank you so much.
Someone from here go way fast. You think you're not protected and people are lying in a country? I mean, like cheap for us in a bureau.
It's not cheap. It's not cheap. That's your view, by the way. But thanks for your contribution. It's not cheap, something. It's not cheap. I don't know doing it. When you're afraid of to carry in public and take the vaccine.
But so you think you're travel from here and go away from without being protected, knowing that people are easy sending people back when you don't take the vaccine.
Okay, that's another good point, by the way. Thank you so much, Samson. Yes. Let's move on to this other person. Thanks for your contribution, Samson. Call us on the numbers 0777 107 0777 221 are the numbers you can call us in to participate. Double Helena Besa is watching, and David E. Harris is watching. Nathaniel Maye of Dominion G. Yossi is watching. Joshua B. Kamase Bengon is watching. Princess Salif is following us as well. Deborah Annie Kroma. Deborah said that wow, dear, you're no go. Yeah, I tell you, we no go. I know him, and he's so merciful. That's the good thing about him. Let's hear from this person. Good morning.
Good morning, Matthias.
Good morning, Mr. Harris.
Good morning to the listening public. Thank you for your analysis on issues. Listen to all of your readings on the issue of the virus. But my question to you and the people that are responsible for this identical pandemic in Labrador, the Enfield, the Ministry of Health, how is our people recovering from in those various counties?
How are they recovering from those various counties?
Are they recovering from those various counties from the virus? Are they being treated in hospital? Are they recovering from their homes? I really want for people to come on and explain to we, the Liberians, how the people are recovering, because according to my sources and what I know, hospitals are being overwhelmed by the identical virus in Monrovia. So I really want to know how people are recovering in those counties, because I know our health facility in the country are not effective as in Monrovia. Even we don't having a better facility in Monrovia to cope with the identical pandemic or to curb the pandemic. For me, what I've been observing in the world, I don't think that the best facility can really do with the virus or to curb the virus. I think that the measure being put in place by other countries in the world, by social distancing, by locking down the country, by washing of hands, observing all of the protocols, I think that what I've been saving other countries in the world. I don't think that the big hospital beds have been building or the modern facility. So I really want to know how those people recovering in those various countries. Thank you this morning.
Thank you, Mr. Harris. Thanks for your contribution. It's good that you said that it's not the big hospitals, because if it's about hospital facilities, India wouldn't be complaining. You know that the best doctors in the world, you check around India, you check in America, Israel, and so these people, they have better health facilities, but yet their people are dying. So if the fact that you, David Harris, you know for a fact that you wash your hands, observe all of the preventive measures, and you're going to be safe from the coronavirus. That's a good one. How are people recovering from the treatment centers, the health facilities? How are they recovering from the Vera counties when we are getting reports that hospital beds are loaded, are jammed, people on oxygen are too many? That's a very good question, and I'll keep that. Let's hear from this person. Hello. Good morning. Good morning. All right. That person left the line. So, yeah, that's. Let's hear from this person. Good morning. Hello. Then we have to move on to another person. The other person on the line there. Thanks for making effort to calling, but at least you pay attention to your line. So call us on those numbers. We have just 3 minutes to go. How are people recovering from the Vera treatment centers? The hospitals in question when we have serious challenges, affecting the health sector. Now I'm keeping the best for the last, right? That's why we have more interesting talking points coming up at 8 o'clock after the news. But saying the best, maybe the best in a way that how the public, our Liberian public, react to the information that we highlight on our Vera platforms. They mostly, gravitated towards hardcore political issues than even educative. But again, for me, I don't see it that maybe the people are insensitive to educative discussions. I see that the fact that someone is providing education and maybe you don't have a doubt, there's no need for you to interfere or interrupt the conversation with a call, and then that maybe you don't have much things to say. Maybe that's why people most of the time listen to educative programs and they just listen and they just agree. Maybe, for example, the analogy, above I just gave about Israel, the Israelites coming from Egypt. Someone has taken maybe serious cue from that. Now, I think this thing is very good. Because if the people were just concerned about who's leading them, if they were bent on repeatedly saying Moses was not an eloquent person, Moses was not the right person to be chosen, even though it is not someone's right or authority to determine, to dictate to God whom to choose or not in terms of leadership. God decides whom to choose. But in this case, some were doubtful to lead. But when it got to a point, it was not about leadership anymore. It was about everybody fighting to save their lives. Children, mothers holding their children, parents holding their children, crossing the Red Sea. Can we all now work together to ensure that we cross this Red Sea of coronavirus, come out of this slavery land of coronavirus, and get back to normalcy? Let our children remain in school. It is all of our responsibility. If you can work and ensure that you contribute in helping your community, you're working, for example, maybe you earn about $4,000 or $5,000 a month. There's nothing wrong with you. Instead of waiting for the community, even if you can provide even 5 buckets for your community, I'm very sure that is going to be remembered. If you can buy 5 buckets, you can buy 2 buckets. For so long, we say that, hey, government and this and that. You get angry with politicians every day, you come back, you still vote them. So our anger should not lead us to endangering our own lives out of ignorance. Because we are the one with the authority. We are the ones that give the people the authority to lead. So when the authority is given to them to lead and they're not leading us properly, that still should not mean that. Let's join the Voice of America for 5 minutes of news.
I'm Steve Miller in Washington.
This is VOA News reporting by remote. I'm Michael Brown. U.S. President Joe Biden and his wife, First Lady Jill, will be traveling to Surfside, Florida later today, where a search and rescue teams are working for an 8th day at the site of a partially collapsed condominium building. Local authorities said late Wednesday the number of dead from the collapse had risen to 18. The White House press secretary said the president and first lady would be meeting with family members who had been forced to endure this terrible tragedy, as well as thanking the first responders and rescue teams. It is unclear if the Bidens would go to the building site itself. About half of the 12th floor of the 136-unit building collapsed last Thursday. Since then, rescuers have been working around the clock, picking their way through rubble using cranes and infrared scanners, as well as dogs at the site. Authorities in Indonesia say rescuers are searching for 11 people still missing after a passenger ferry sank off the coast of Bali in rough seas, killing at least 7 others. Dozens of survivors were plucked from the water Tuesday evening after the ferry, carrying 57 passengers and crew, went down at the western end of the holiday island. It was unclear what caused the accident. Marine accidents are common in Indonesia, an archipelago of more than 17,000 islands, where many use ferries and other boats to travel despite the poor safety standards. For more news, please join us at our website, voanews.com. Via remote, this is VOA News. The U.S. House of Representatives has launched a new investigation of the January 6th Capitol insurrection. The House approved a special committee probe of the violent attack as police officers who were injured fighting that day watched from the gallery above. The vote was along party lines. Just 2 Republicans, Liz Cheney and Adam Kinzinger, voted yes with Democrats. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi last week says she would have preferred an independent panel to lead the inquiry, but Senate Republicans blocked that. The Premier of the Australian state of New South Wales urging people in Sydney and the surrounding areas to reduce their movements after 24 more cases of COVID-19 were recorded Thursday. The Premier warned the lockdown could fail if residents don't minimize their activities. On Wednesday, the Queensland and Western Australian state governments advised people under the age of 40 not to take the AstraZeneca vaccine because of the risk of a rare blood clotting disorder, despite the Australian government making those shots available to all adults. Australians have a choice of only 2 vaccines, and locally manufactured AstraZeneca is more plentiful. Bill Cosby is back home in suburban Philadelphia after the Pennsylvania Supreme Court overturned his sexual assault conviction, allowing him to be released from prison Wednesday. Cosby, who's 83, served nearly 3 years after being found guilty of drugging and violating a Temple University sports administrator suburban home back in 2004. Attorney Lisa Banks says that while Cosby's release from prison didn't change the facts of the case, it felt like a setback for the Me Too movement. Pakistani Prime Minister Imran Khan Wednesday denounced as idiocy his country's past policy of becoming a frontline state in the U.S.-led war against terrorism in Afghanistan, blaming the policy for the persistent security and economic challenges facing Islamabad. Khan again ruled out the possibility of providing Pakistani bases to the U.S. military for counterterrorism strikes in Afghanistan, following the planned withdrawal of U.S. troops from the neighboring country after nearly 2 decades. And a Hong Kong pro-democracy activist and human rights lawyer arrested for a second time in less than a month Wednesday, marking the city's first year under the national security law. For more news, please join us, voanews.com. I'm Michael Brown reporting VOA News.
The best music and the latest news on 102.5 FM in Freetown and 94.1 FM in Monrovia.
Remain impartial and are only interested in truth-telling. The program comes your way Monday through Friday, 7 to 9 o'clock in the morning. Let's speak from our hearts, heal our wounds, and build Mama Liberia for good.
Telling is the bedrock of true journalism, and that's what we intend to do here, and that's what we build. That's the foundation we are building on here every morning. Good morning, welcome, folks, and welcome. This is Straight from the Heart on Sky 107.1. We have three clips to play here this morning. One of the clips, the interview was conducted by a professional colleague, Julius J of OKFM. But that is with Yomble Kanga Lawrence, who's going to bring you a clip of a fellow from the judiciary as well, who has threatened to, set himself ablaze. If he does not get his job back, according to him, was wrongfully dismissed at the judiciary. But before that, let me ask you a few questions. Let me ask a few questions to the government. The president is not in country yet, but I know there are people here who listen and take notes. Is the Ganta city mayor still city mayor? The guy Amos Swa, is he still the city mayor of Ganta? Or the fact that he's taking back his words that he does not want to resign again, it means that he should maintain his job. Any nation, any country that wants to improve on, some of the things that is struggling with in terms of better leadership, competent leadership, I'm very sure that you are going to ensure that you keep people who are not just qualified by paper, but who are emotionally qualified. Of course, emotions sometimes can be hard to control when it gets to a certain point. But in a case where a man who is a mayor of a city will come to the public and ridicule his wife, take issues from the serenity of his matrimony and bring the issues to the public. He didn't explain much about all the things that a woman is doing. But for Matthias to wake up in the morning and get on this radio here and sit down and say, listen, my people, I can't broadcast today. The reason is very simple. Why? Because I can't lie to you, my girlfriend can give me hard time. And a critical thinker like me will say, what kind of hard time now? Explain. There's no way you're going to explain that. You don't want to explain that. Maybe she denies you sex. That's not what you want to talk about, right? You're going to, whether you want to not cover up that you don't want to be seen as a man who has brought his woman to public ridicule, you've already done it. The fact that you said, you come on the radio and say, I cannot do this show, why did you even leave your house in the morning to come? To come on the radio before saying that you cannot leave the show. The point I'm making is that this man is a mayor. Before you conclude the decision of even trying to quit your job, the reasons all are there, I know. But at one point, all right, my people, I'm resigning. And I'm going to be communicating to the president of the Republic of Liberia very soon. That very Niba County, there are more competent people over there that can serve as mayor of that city, of Ganta City. And they'll better keep that place tidy. They'll keep it tidy, right? This man, from his two statements, it shows that he's emotionally and psychologically unfit to be mayor of the city of Ganta. Ganta, by the way, in case you don't know, if you ask me today to recommend, maybe reduce the population in Ganta and make Ganta maybe the capital city. If not the capital city, well, you can make it another city. Of course, it's a city, right? Let's invest more in it and take more investment. If you get to Ganta City right now, you feel that you even regret staying in Monrovia. This man is mayor of that city, a serious transit point, to tell the public that he was about to resign his job because his wife tails him, follows him, or chases him, or does this, that, and so. And he described her as a woman who follows him like a red hunting dog. That guy is still a husband, right? He's still a husband material, and he's still a mayor material. Oh my God. Anyway, so I would have thought that by now, maybe the president, if not, even he's not in the country or so, and the information reached him, he has more important things he has to respond to, but he comes back, I think that man needs to be replaced. I give you one more reason. The very woman that he said is giving him problem in doing his job as mayor of the city, that woman is staying his life. Like the former foreign minister, right, Bezanga Finlay. He filed him for a divorce and the wife said, no, me, I'm not ready yet. Or inside. So you're not going. Even though you are the dishonest person in a relationship, but now you want to break up, I'm not ready for a breakup yet. So he wakes up knowing that he's still a husband to a woman he wanted to divorce a couple of months ago. This man will wake up every morning seeing that very woman that he publicly ridiculed in Nimba County, Yale, Liberia, that because of you, I was about to quit my job. Is it possible for this woman to change automatically to becoming the best person that he wants her to be, which will enable him now to have a stable mind in ensuring that he executes his duty in Nimba County? Is it possible? How soon is that expected? Why didn't he even communicate with the counselor? How did he get married? Were there no counselors in his life? No pastor? No imam? No elders that you had to take it on the radio? I think the family of that lady, in fact, should even take up issue with that man. He should be dismissed from that position. Another person takes over that position. A man who cannot control the emotional things happening in this, the secrecy or quietude of his bed, of his matrimony. But he feels comfortable taking those things on the radio and saying, I'm about to resign my job because my wife follows me like a red hunting dog. I'll leave it right there. I don't want to sound insightful. But let's go to the judiciary, the temple of justice. There's a young man who said he wants to do the same thing. I don't know whether he has done it or he's going to do it or he has been stopped. But I listened to OK News this morning and we're going to play you the clip. Let's listen to him briefly before, I draw some analysis from here, move on to the next clip and and open the lines.
Actually, I will be for the day that with my three children. I will be for the day that with my three children. And I'm going to do that right at the could have been car. I have to do such things because the fact is that that is the only source of income. I have no other place to work. Since 2014, I've been working where I have not worked. Any other area, that's my only source of income. That's the work that I do. I pay my children's school fee and feed them. So if you take such a job from me, there is someone educating me. And so I'm going to do that tomorrow. The fact stands that I cannot see myself out of job and seeing that my children's school fee and I pay, I can even feed them. I'm still looking at them. So it's better I go and let it be there. I think it's all the letter. I've engaged them. I engaged them on all aspects. I will not let them to the judicial staff association, which I want to member of. They are the one that don't look into such an issue when something happens to any of the member. The president saying he cannot do anything for it. I wrote the court administrator who did not investigate and order that I should be fired to look into the matter. She has refused to look in the matter. I called someone who goes to the chief justice to beg him. The woman went and begged the chief. He said he can't do it because he already signed the letter. And they got a tendency in that building. Whenever they bring in new people, their family people, and they want to get somebody or they get fined by any means and get it off. That's what they do in that building. You know when the issue happened with my colleague Achi, they saw it as a blood also until it happened. So if they see it as a blood, then let's see tomorrow. I just need my job back. Because allegation against me is false. It's false. You cannot terminate my service in my judiciary based on rumors. There must be proof. There must be a signature book, or there must be someone else to show that you say you're not kind of well putting the look here. But nothing as such. There is no evidence. There is nothing to prove that I'm not kind of well putting it. I only went to work Monday, I work Tuesday, I work Wednesday, I receive a letter.
All right, so that's the fellow that he goes by the name Suamala Jawe. Suamala Jawe has been dismissed from the judiciary. According to him, he's been there since 2014. He's been doing that job. That's the only job he got so far to take care of his family. He promised that today at 7 o'clock he would have gone at the judiciary, at the Temple of Justice, by the way, set himself ablaze like Achi Pompon did. According to him, Achi Pompon's case, people took it for granted. People did not take it seriously. But his case, he's going to be taking his 3 children along with him at the Temple of Justice, set himself because he's been dismissed, wrongfully dismissed. He alleged that someone there want to bring in their family member. That's why he got dismissed. He was, by the way, the maintenance guy at the judiciary. The judiciary has not made a statement regarding this particular statement coming from this fellow. But I don't think, let me provide a little advice. Some of you who sit down and listen to us on the viral radio platforms and things, do you know how many journalists have gotten frustrated? They left the media and they're doing different things. We never think about killing ourselves. We suffer too. We wake up every morning. The radios you listen to, the platforms you listen to, even if someone has the money, Mr. Stanton Waterspoon is One now that respected, highly respected by a number of people regarding the fact that he's investing hugely in the media and he's making young media practitioners, which I'm very happy for. Though I'm not there to benefit from it and from everything he's giving them, but I'm happy that at least during my time, a young media practitioner can take home something good and he can be proud of his profession, not disrespecting his community that you're a journalist, you can take care of this. We go through a lot of tough time. I don't think the solution is for us to take away our lives when there are problems. Okay? I don't think the solution is for you to cause yourself some self-inflicted wounds when there are problems. You still have to engage and engage and engage. Some of us, we've had some personal engagement with some media executives. We got tired and we just left everything we worked for and walked away. We did not see the solution to that problem as a way of taking away our own lives. So if you set yourself ablaze and you die in the process, is that going to help to pay your children's school fees? Is that going to help to ensure that you get your job back? That is just an overly emotional act that you want to carry out. Thank God, I'm very sure you have not done it because you promised to do it at 7 o'clock today. I know that you've not done it, and I pray that you do not do that. Mohamed Bouazizi did that thing in Egypt some years back, I think somewhere around 2000 or 2003. That was for a certain protest. He set that record. He died in the process. He set himself ablaze and died in the process. But when you get dismissed, you want to set yourself ablaze? Achimpong, if you ask Achimpong again right now, if you had a chance, ask him right now, if you had a chance to do this again, would you do it? He will tell you no. I don't think this is the way forward. What's the essence of you setting yourself ablaze and later start blaming people for not putting money together to send you for treatment? It's something you sat down, you decided, you willfully say, I'm going to look fire. You look at fire and put on yourself. Please, my brother, I don't think that's the solution. If there's a need for you people at the judiciary too, and this thing is not good, the judiciary does not even have a good name in our country anymore. If you check international reports, it has corrupt judges sitting on the bench. You have corrupt individuals operating. Then now it's going to the extent of people are getting frustrated working at the judiciary, and the only solution they can sort for themselves is to take away their own lives. For those of you who are doing that, who are venturing it, if you are that person too sitting somewhere in one corner, you're thinking that the only solution is to take away your life, think about it. There is nothing precious than life. For me, I think so. I know death, Solomon in his wisdom said, it's better to die than to live. But he never wished for death. He was enjoying his wisdom. Why did he leave us with that particular clause in the Bible that it's better to die than to live? When he was enjoying his wisdom, the wisest man that ever lived, why didn't he wish death? Or during the end where he felt that his wisdom, he used it at some point, is when he realized that it's better to die than to live. I disagree with you, Solomon. So please don't take away your life. Let's move on to the next clip. This one, as it's playing, in fact, this conversation, the senator of Grand Bassa County had this conversation with Julius J of OKFM. So credit to Julius for having this conversation with Senator Nyomble Kanga Lawrence, who, by the way, phoned in from America on the show, on the OK Conversation, to clear her side of the story about the information she posted on Facebook, urging people to purchase some items and make sure that they put in their various houses because they should prepare themselves for a lockdown in days. But let's hear what Nyomble Kanga Lawrence has to say now.
And make sure that some of those places were shut down. We focused on contact tracing, and we tried to make sure people who came in with the virus were contained and in a special place and given the appropriate attention. If you do not do that, like there's a small company based on that made a recommendation. So we're not intended for people to be locked down like they're in.
Madam, were you privy to any internal conversation, especially when you wrote, I believe on Sunday, that prepare your families for a lockdown in a day or two? Was there any of such discussion on
that statement was locked down? I didn't have any internal instructions, but there were conversations that I had that were leading to lockdown in a few days. And also, I think a lot of people have done voluntary declared lockdown, including my whole family there and friends that who have advised. So in order to do that or to get off the streets, there are certain things that you need to have in your home. And I made a film just to caution people to get off the street and to stay home as much as they can. And people who needed to listen, they did. But it was not intended to cause any chaos. There are
those who think that this was fear mongering, especially as this kind of information should accompany.
We have fears. So the world is already happening, and we have fears. We all have fears, and we are worried. I just spoke to my mother. My team went to the hospital, and they declared that more people are dying. I just lost one of my chair ladies. One of them is seriously ill, and we have to rush her to Mother County to see if she can get better attention. So yes, there's fear. What more should we do to let the people know that we all know people are dying.
Okay, so that's the Grand Bassa County Senator Nyomble Kanga Lawrence. She had a conversation with Julius J of OKFM, and that is something she came back to clarify what she said earlier. We're trying to look for the post, that she made, urging Liberians to ensure that they purchase some non-perishable food and be prepared for a lockdown in days. Well, this, in my mind, coming from a senator who has the ability to recommend to the Liberian Senate, to recommend to the government of Liberia to ensure that a lockdown is instituted, but first chose to go on social media to post and say, okay, listen, prepare yourself for a lockdown, even though there has been no assurance, no conversation whatsoever that there would be a lockdown soon, because the government has said, continues to say that there's no need for a lockdown yet, in the words of the Minister of Health. I don't know why is that the case, So to some people, it was seen as, well, this is just a political pronouncement. And the statement, to some extent, to some people talking that word, this created fear in people. This created fear in people in that people woke up to the fact that, the fact that the senator can say we should buy food, even to say buy food and put in your houses right now because lockdown is on the way. Now, even that coming from, a prominent person, it will show that, business people will start exploiting. We can clinch on every opportunity here in this country to ensure that we just exploit one another. So yes, the senator made a pronouncement, and she said there's a need that we all consider a lockdown or prepare ourselves for a lockdown. And she came back to say, this whole thing, I was not actually saying to the people that a lockdown is going to be tomorrow, but there's a possibility given the increase in the cases of coronavirus. The Senate has recommended that the government goes ahead to institute a lockdown. But the government has not, by the way, taking that into consideration, has not implemented that particular recommendation. By the way, the president also requested for $2 million to ensure that the COVID-19 is fought against. Has the government received that $2 million? Is the government considering locking the country, given the fact that everyone is saying that the current wave of the coronavirus is deadlier than the previous? Why aren't we taking, stringent measures now than the previous? I was having a conversation with a colleague, yesterday, and I shared with him, on the phone that, let's take, for example, you are that person who's investing in real estate, and you usually build two-bedroom apartments, the same size, all right? Everywhere you build two-bedroom apartments, the same size. So you already know the cost attached to building a two-bedroom, right? You don't need to ask a rocket scientist to tell you that it will not cost you the same amount to build 4 bedrooms. You will need more than that to build 4. So if we all say as a nation that the current situation we have in the country is worse than the previous, meaning at this time now we are building 4-bedroom house. We no longer building 2 bedrooms. So why aren't you buying more cement? Why aren't you buying more zinc? Why aren't we buying more building materials to ensure that we complete the 4-bedroom, but we're buying the same items for the 2 bedrooms, which we are not going to complete because we're still going to get short of items to complete the construction? That is, if we all agree, if the health authority believe that The information it's providing to us is credible, which is something that probably made the Grand Bassa County Senator to come up with that post. My only thing is that most of the time, politicians in their utterances, in their write-ups, they provoke our ordinary people. And for those of us on the radio, it is not our business to say, John Brown, don't vote that person. We tell you to vote wisely. But in a nation, a modern country like ours now, this modern age, that politicians will still be suggesting members that buy gari, put in your house, buy non-perishable foods, put in your house, buy gari, buy plantain. When you go down red light, get your feet dirty, go and buy those cheap foods and take it to your home. Why to stop by in the supermarket and buy? I am not saying that life in general, it is at the same level with every people. People will come from different levels. That's why people there's stages. And I cannot be one who have read about the totem pole and expect and come here to sound like life should be the same level with everybody, because the totem pole did not give us that kind of explanation. All right. But politicians from time to time did say that, well, some people just belong there. Yeah, they just belong there. In time of crisis, they eat gari. In time of election, we take back or rest to them. Liberia, man. Let's wake up, folks. I was just asking somebody this morning, can we argue this thing this way? That for you say ignorant to the law is not an excuse. And you say education is good, right? So how about my great grandfather who was a polygamist, who did not succeed in educating all of the children he got by the 7 wives he married, and the society did not even lay the platform, the foundation for all the children to get educated. They stay in their farm, on the farm 24/6. Finally, someday, one of them land in the city. They don't read and write. This guy goes somewhere and then pee somewhere. Even though he's seeing big writing on the doors, pee here, he pee there. He's arrested. He's ignorant to the law. Education is a compulsory thing and it should be provided by the state. Did the state provide him education which will better inform him of his constitutional right as a citizen? He ignorantly pee there. Now he's arrested. This guy doesn't even know what you're talking about. He doesn't know what they call city ordinance. So, okay, because he's not educated, do you mean to say he should not live in the city? So let's go back to some of these things. Sometimes we'll sit down, we'll say these things. Let's ask ourselves some hard questions. Do we do the right thing during election time? Fight each other, kill each other, insult each other, attack each other's families for politicians. But they have a class for us. They class us. Pay our life statuses, our life status, by the way, sorry, they class us. When it's time for crisis, when the food comes, instead of it being distributed across the board for the needed people to benefit, they stock it in their warehouses. If some of them have too many mistresses, if they're the male, the gender, they have mistresses, they take the items and stock it in their mistresses' business areas to sell and profit. Why the very poor people that will queue in lines, vote for them, continue to suffer. They can shout the loudest to advocate for, financial support to their offices. But when it gets to the ordinary people, they want to take their time. They want to make sure that, okay, let's read between the lines. We hope that this is not going to be that way. Let's move on to another talking point. Liberia's problem is not today's, thing. We have more work to do. Now, I actually thought to give these guys media blackout, but I thought to talk about them this morning. I know Ben believed Tugba, if I even talk about giving his group media blackout here, I know they have a lot of platforms to appear on. Ben owes me something and he needs to pay it. It's not financial, it's not material, but it's moral. So until that can be paid, I'm going to offer them my platform to appear on. My platform, I say that to mean Sky FM's platform. But because of what they've said, I'm going to talk about them a little bit this week. First of all, let's listen to what Ben said yesterday at a press conference. That is the CDC Council of Patriots, what they said at a press conference yesterday. We're going to just say a few things and open the lines to hear from you.
Also
Montserrat County and the remaining 14 political subdivisions of our country to join Liberia's biggest grassroots civil rights movement at the Rabat International Airport for a very robust protest action to demand Darius DeLong to return the 15K to Montserrat County and all other benefits the so-called senator promised the people of Montserrat County. The CDC-COP will never cease to ensure that the theory of two-pay fallacy permeates the corridor of our country. They don't need to be man enough to also return the 20,000 offshore loan that was sent to his personal account directly. You are aware that Darius DeLong condemned the takings of money on Ultra Darkling and projected himself as light. Such characterization was rallied across the length and breadth of our country, which mythologized the minds of our people and got DeLong to where he is. Now, the question that rings bell to the minds of the citizens of Montserrat and Liberians in general: what impact the offshore 20,000 loan has made in impacting the lives of Liberians in the health sector, in the educational sector, and in resuscitating the economy that he once said was in the toilet. Of recent, Darius DeLong, amidst the reoccurrence and the new strain of the deadly COVID-19, was seen dressed in luxury outfit, including his glass bow tie in the Franklins, sitting in the business class of an airplane on his way to the United States of America. Traveling to the U.S. is not an issue, but the question that has been raised by thousands, hundreds of thousands of citizens of Montserrat County is: how can you condemn the flying of airlines, especially sitting in business classes, in the same economy you, Darius DeLong, condemn?
Mr. Ben Believe Togba. Ben Believe Togba is the chairman of the CDC Council of Patriots. Ben, by the way, was the youth chairman of the Council of Patriots, original Council of Patriots, that was firstly founded. Even though he has not been certificated, has not been given document, it's not been given license to operate. It's not registered yet because the business registry is yet to, give it document to operate. But the CDC Council of Patriots, so now the guys think that they are the most legitimate group now than the original Council of Patriots because they have document to operate. All right. So power sometimes gives you undue, should I say, undue, not preference, undue preference. What are a few things? Number of things running in my mind right now, listening to these young people addressing the press conference. First of all, now you are now questioning Darius DeLong because he professes to be a light. But amongst you there, there's a young man among you who is Aaron Kofachi. He was also part of the press conference. Aaron even vowed to give away his life. If there was a need, there was a possibility that one could give away his life for another person to live. One of your colleagues there, on that desk I was watching, in fact, I even commented, if you guys read it live, even commented that you guys should observe social distancing because you guys were stuck together, right? Aaron, who is part of the CDC Council of Patriots and who also sat at that particular press conference desk, once assured Darius DeLong that only if divinity could permit him, he would take away his life and give it to Darius DeLong to live because this man is a good man. Today, Aaron is sitting at a press conference challenging Darius DeLong. Not that if the press conference actually makes intellectual sense, right? But it is to say comical is an understatement. It is a provocation to young intellectuals in this country that young people will parade themselves in such manner and form. Why are you questioning Darius DeLong? Now, first of all, let me just lay out a few checkpoints because I know you'll be protected by the police because you are a CDC Council of Patriots. I'm not saying the police is a CDC police, right? But something could just play in between because we saw here a deputy police inspector was humiliated at the headquarters of the of the CDC. He appeared there, he could not speak clearly on that, how that thing ended. He said, we just let it go. So maybe you'll be protected because you are representing the CDC Council of Patriots. But let me just remind you now, even in your protest, you will not assemble more than 20 persons. I hope you're aware of that. So how is that going to be the largest or biggest, in your words, grassroots civil rights or whatever movement you term it? How is it going to be? It can never be more than the June 7 protest. It can never be more than the rape protest. All right, the end rape campaign protest. It can never be more than the Injure Tukpa protest, because you can only put outside 20 persons. So how then are you thinking to term it as the biggest grassroots movement in the country? That's one point. Another point, why are you questioning Darius DeLong? So you are CDC Council of Patriots. Okay, I understand. You cannot question any CDC lawmaker because they have not given you any reason why, what if spend the money on how they've used it. But you're questioning DeLong. It is not propaganda. Let me give you another point of it. It is not propaganda. From my observation, from my entire survey in this country, as a young man following politicians, I've not seen any politician in this country that knows about self-branding as compared to Darius DeLong. And you people are making the brothers work very easy now because every day you want to talk about him. All right? Now you have called a whole press conference, a whole organization, a serious-minded organization, calls a press conference just to ensure that a protest against a particular individual, because this guy said yesterday that he's a light, and they're not seeing that he's not behaving as a light. He's making some mistakes along the way. He's doing some things intentionally. Maybe he has apologized a lot. So therefore you want to protest, meaning you like the fact that he said he's a light. He should remain on that path. The fact that he is no longer living up to what he said yesterday as a light, therefore you should go against him. You should demand him to provide, to be accountable to the people of Montserrat County for monies he has received outside of what he said he would not have taken. But if you don't look at it politically, it is a promotion for DeLong. Darius DeLong he did that thing very intentional. It was very, very intentional. Now, he entered the plane, traveling to the US, and according to him, he got on economic flight, right? The economy flight. And then what happened next? According to him, he walked to see a business friend in the business class. All right. Darius DeLong did not take a photo in the economy side where he was sitting, where we would consider usually less expensive, right? He did not take a photo that they post on social media. But he intentionally, he willfully, knowing that it would have brought him again back in the news, because I challenge you, wake up every morning. After 2 days, if you do not hear Darius DeLong in the news, it means maybe he just decided to keep it on the low, because everything he does is a news nowadays. He's followed. And everybody, grandfather wants every tree that will not bear fruit. Nobody will choose stone at it. But I'm lying. If the mango trees have not bear yet, they wouldn't bother themselves even looking up in the tree, because nothing in the tree. But when that tree is bearing, people will pick up stones and throw at it. So you people are giving, even some of your supporters in the CDC, giving them more reasons to think that Darius DeLong is a force to reckon with. That's why many forces are coming after him. Darius took a photo in a plane and posted on Facebook intentionally so that people can see that he was in a business class. But in real sense, that's not the flight he got on. That's not the category of the flight that he boarded, right? He has a ticket, so he displayed documents that show that he was actually on the economic class. But he went to see a business friend in the business class. Why did he take the photo? That guy is an original business. He's an original marketer. If you need to market your business, call Darius DeLong. He knows it. He intentionally took the photo and posted it. It's a bait. Leave it. They'll come. The very people in opposition, some of the guys who are opposing Darius DeLong says, Darius DeLong's, by the way, position on national issues. They took it, started running with Darius DeLong, probably on economy flight. Newspaper published it. And it gave him another platform again to come and respond. The guys was, right? To come and respond. Now you are saying, Darius DeLong in America. They may travel in the country, you're still making news for the man behind here. CDC, Council of Patriots, seriously? You call a press conference just to consider doing the COVID. You don't know that you have COVID in the country? How on earth is your protest going to be the largest, the biggest, civil right? How do you even consider? How did that sound to you then? When you were reading that statement, were you not taking into consideration that you have COVID-19 in this country, that you can gather more than 20 persons? Who's making the law? Is the health authority? This one has no party connection. It's about our safety. Because even if you put more than 20 persons over there, the commentary that media people are going to do behind you is even going to call for reaction from the police. We know that maybe the police will be a little bit mild to keep people, not wild in their reaction as they usually behave, because you guys come from the CDC and this is the government. So maybe they're going to be a little bit lenient with you people in reacting. But there's no way, even your protest, it's your right to go and protest against the arrest alone. But your protest, don't say it. It's just an intellectual bluff to say this is going to be the largest or the biggest civil rights movement. It doesn't make sense. You can't have COVID. How many persons can you put out? The Bar Association went to submit a landmark document geared towards establishing war crimes code in the country, war and economic crimes code. You think the Bar Association and other civil society organizations that were in solidarity with the Bar Association, they could not have put up more than 10,000 people in the street, but less than 20 persons went there? Well, maybe you can put 5 persons and still make the news. Of course, we're going to report about you. But I think if you guys really want to do advocacy for ordinary people, you focus your energy on serious things. So do that press conference again and question every lawmaker. I challenge you guys to question CDC lawmakers. So let's take the CDC from there. Demonstrate that patriotism in that word, in that particular, acronym, COP. Demonstrate that patriotism. CDC, the CDC from there. Just say Council of Patriots. Demonstrate that patriotism. If you guys are true patriots, but sadly you are segmented patriots belonging to a political group, so your patriotism is to the CDC, it's not to the country. But if your patriotism was to the country, you would have had a press conference that would speak, that would engage every lawmaker, question everybody, just like Mountain College is publishing the contact numbers of lawmakers on social media so that people can contact their lawmakers from their various constituencies and question them how to use the $15,000. And you can talk about you want to have the big civil rights movement. Let's have a conversation, folks. Call us in the numbers 077777107, 07777221223, 077777107, 07777221223. The numbers you can call us on to participate on the program. Let's hear from this first person on this segment. Good morning. Good morning.
Yeah, how are you, bro?
Fine, thank you. Let's hear you.
Yeah, thank you for your analysis.
You're welcome.
It's so unfortunate for our brothers that fought in the ruling party that pretending to be people that are hungry. Why you be running behind when he was less important to you? After winning the election, he said the man can make it, they still running behind. They made there for 9 years, you there for 6 years. So why you just concentrate on your 6 years to convince the Liberian people that you will be able to take them to another level? Then you running behind. You know what I mean? For you to forget it. The mad house, someone will catch screw. Thank you for the time.
Thanks for the contribution on the program this morning. I just want to inform you folks that here at Sky FM, we're doing all we can to ensure that we give you the best we can offer you with the later resources. We hope that, some international organizations can come and invest and maybe buy some slots and run programs, produce programs here so we can get more funding. But even with the meager resources we have, guess what? We've just given you another opportunity for you to call in on the program. Instead of WhatsApp now, you can call us on Messenger too. And you'll be live via Scala Barrier. We're going to take you live. Let's hear from this person. Good morning.
Good morning, Natural.
Good morning, sir. Let's hear you.
This is Khaled.
I didn't get that. Let's hear you again.
This is Khaled.
Go ahead, sir. Make your point.
Okay, basically, what I meant is like just when so in the blog. When you so not they make you trouble like once
Okay, we gotta go, guys. We gotta go, my man. I think it's coming in. Your line is coming in distorted. Let's hear from this other person. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. How are you?
Fine, thank you. Let's hear you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, my brother, for your analysis. You make another one that had to do with the guy from the judiciary there, and your advice to the brother was fine. And I join you to say to him, look, that's not the way to solve the problem. Your life is very much important. If you take away your life, the children you have will really suffer even the way you don't want them to go. So I join you to say to him, I beg you, don't do it. Try to engage the regulatory authority to see how best you can get money and do what you want to do with it, but don't take your life away. Then with those guys from that, I don't know what you call an independent council of Petra.
No, they are CDC Council of Patriots. They have the independent COP. That is Rufus Nuvia's group.
Petra, and you said that you take the CDC Council of Petra and just say Petra. I like that. You know, I like when they're promoting this senator, my senator. I can enjoy them. Let them continue promoting him, because when the guy come back, he's going to respond to them with another, let's say, attempt protest that they will be making again. Because when come and make a statement to what they are planning to do, they will go back again and say they want to demonstrate over that. They got no business. I don't know what they want. Can they call all of the senators, all of the representatives that took the money and thought by making dollars, to look like he's the only one that in the government? So look, I think if they want also do it, let Darren take over now as president, because that is how they want also to do it. My brother, thank you, man. I like that.
Thanks for your contribution as well on the program this morning. And they've just given Senator Darius DeLong in the country again, because certainly when you're going to hear a response from Senator Darius DeLong. He certainly lawmakers. Then he will start naming their lawmakers too, the CDC lawmakers. Why are we even misusing English in this country? We consider ourselves to be English-speaking country, but we don't put our words, in a proper perspective. How can you consider yourself a patriot? You say CDC, Congress or Coalition for Democracy. Let me come back to it. Let me talk to this person and get back to that. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Let's hear you.
Yes, I'm
What's your name again?
I'm Zira.
Okay. Let's hear you, ma'am.
Yes, I want to talk on the issue of the second measure. That second measure there, I sure the reason why he had to tell the corporate that he coming to resign is that the pressure from the woman to him. That man I know him very well. He's my uncle. And the member has talked. People have talked. All kinds of do.
My sister, I beg you, man. Listen,
yeah,
let me advise you.
I coming now.
All right,
to me, but he coming over here to tell the people that is that someone is kid that was doing me. So me, she go ain't no sense on that attitude because I can't properly.
All right.
That don't say you get shot in the heart. Every day they child CD. You telling all of family, but you have been a child bought on time. So they found around and say, okay, let me tell you when you committed that you go, you can see and see. So maybe that's how it is based on it, because everybody knows about the behavior. So I don't think he's
so,
to say.
And you say, hello, my sister. And you say that your uncle?
Yeah.
Do you have an idea how many children he has by that lady?
Oh, no problem. If I think almost 30 children Irish. They then to get up very strong, although she's a very strong business woman, but she gave my uncle very hard time.
You want to tell her some of the things you want to tell her about some of the things she can do to your uncle that make it you won't resign your job?
The same thing is there over here. They say you when you go to meeting and things, you go there, they say you all because you say the girlfriend and society. Once you are married to the man, you don't have to be their man for girlfriend because you already in your house. So why was you getting better than when you do come soon, that means you go to girlfriend? No. You know that way the links and is what I think political city in the government links. The mayor is a husband.
Sorry, your line has gone by. Thanks so kindly for joining us. At least you said he's your uncle, but first of all, women should not be considered by any man as a burden. A woman in your life is not a burden; it's a partner. God created Adam in a garden, and He brought Eve. He did not say, "I'm creating a burden." He said, "I'm creating a helpmate." If in business, I'm in partnership with you and you are not contributing to the business, I have two options. It's either I stay or I break away from you and establish another business. I stay in a relationship that my life can even end at any time because this person is causing me psychological trauma from morning to evening that will even make a man to go public as an official to say, I'm going to resign my job. I was about to resign because my woman can give me a hard time. Let's hear from this other person. Good morning.
Good morning.
Let's hear you, Mr. Kimayan.
How are you doing?
Fine, thank you. Let's hear you. Go ahead.
That man issue, I think marriage is done on counselors, the legal counselors and the religious counselors. They ask you on the day, you want this woman? Yeah, you want it well, nowadays. I think he found his side of law. I think he should call some more counselors like at the gender ministry to get between there and counsel them. Because the woman is seeing that her earth is being shared on the other side. So she doesn't trust the man. So that's the other side of the coin. But he's not going to report it publicly. He went for marriage and they're married and they got children. He should do due diligence to the woman and call relatives and tell the woman, say, look, I'm not cheating on you. I think that's the best way forward. But those guys call themselves counsel of patriarch. They can find other names. Are they duplicating names from other people, or are they carbon copies that people crafted a name and they always go in there? Again, what Senator Dillon did, I think he was trying to say the ERWA administrator, one guy way. He said that he had been looking around for oxygen. They have been out of oxygen at the ERWA hospital. So definitely he met Senator Dillon and he was traveling. So Senator Dillon said that if he travels to the state, he will call back because he was on his way already. And when he went, he called his office staff. And today, I think the ERWA has about 90 bottles of oxygen. And at the time the oxygen arrived at the hospital, somebody was already dying, and they said that it came in time. So there's the news that I'm making for Senator Dillon. It's not about politics that you and I don't agree on the other side. You just want to say that you hate Darrell Dillon, that making popular again. It's not Darrell Dillon alone. But 1 and 3 lawmakers of that money. Why are they flagging Senator Dillon? Even they say that they are sending for him to go to America is about the same flag of Darrell Dillon. The Americans are calling him. So they are making famous again. Maybe you'll be president.
Okay.
So CDC should find something to do. Rather, Dillon every day for hatred. You don't run hatred for politics. You run dynamism and logic. Thank you very much.
All right. Let's move on to this other person. Good morning.
Good morning, Mattia.
Good morning, sir. Let's hear you.
Yeah, this is Tamba. Don Tamba, and I call for around the St. Paul River.
Mr. Tamba, please go ahead, sir.
Look, let me tell you something, Mattia. The issue of the, CDC Council of Patriarch. I told a guy yesterday, the moment they came out with a press conference, I told them, if they want to protest, because for us in the opposition, we agree we are out of job, but I think they're supposed to be providing job for their policy, right? A lot of their policy dying at just poverty. Let them climb to the Capitol building and see the kind of Mercedes as Moses Akagri ride. Ordinary pedestrian yesterday riding $110,000 car. So I think they're supposed to be protesting against those people. Why we in the party? We're not enjoying the food of the party. There's some of you guys riding 100,000 plus car. I think those guys are not serious, eh? They're not very serious. I mean, you guys should be talking about, protesting against Mr. Weah because he promised you people that you're going to build.
Mr. Tamba, you spot it in. Tamba, you spot it in. The people listen now, brother. The people are patriots, but they are patriots. Their patriotism is to an organization. Their loyalty is to an organization, which is the CDC. That's why they call themselves CDC Council of Patriots. You expect the men to go protest against the people that are taking care of them? How do you want to even do analysis like that, sir?
No, but the issue is, you know that they promised the CDC so-called, how they call it, Popo defender, that they're going to have free training center in their camp there. Do you know that? That technical school that is supposed to be in their party headquarters there. Where you ever seen the foundation around there?
Well, we can
ever see that?
We can state for a fact. We can state for a fact that even the chairman of the party, he keeps making statements, raising concerns. Sometimes in his write-ups, you can tell that he's not fully supported. As chairman of the party. So maybe that's why that's still, on hold, because
we see this. So you have bunch of technical in your house. But you go outside to find somebody.
All right, we gotta go.
It's quite unfortunate. I think the guys need to rethink and come back to their senses and think about doing positive things for themselves instead of running after Darius Dillon.
Okay.
I think the guys are, if they are listening, I believe a lot of talk show the money criticizing them. I know some of them did not sleep Sunday last night. I think they will label this at the end of the year. They will be thinking on it because the kind of luggage they're receiving today is too heavy for them. Thank you very much.
Okay. Let's hear from this last person on the line, please. Go ahead.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
My name is Abo Kemoka. I'm calling on Kawel.
Mr. Kemoka, please go ahead.
My brother, be aware that we are fighting invisible enemies. So going to the first thing in the house supported the man. You say you're going for the 50, who made the man put the money in? Because the people supporting the man, people are talking about the money, they don't want going for the money. So why the church not have the way your boss can go? You never supported the man. They say, remember, any attempt to go to that place to say they want to stop the law. I get almost 700 men under my control. We are going to black president. We are to the airport for our 24%.
I mean, I beg you anymore. I gotta go, man. I gotta go. Yeah, that's all the time we have for somebody say here, Zanga Davis are dead COP CDC. They will know if the monkey can bond. Send Dillon. Saying that they don't want them to talk more and more for their pressure to get high. So to 1,000, those fools are very arrogant and my God, Jesus. I gotta go, man, folks. We have to. That's how we call it a day today on today's edition of the program. Straight from the heart on Sky 107.1. We apologize to you, our viewers, that we didn't read all of your comments here. Most of your comments, by the way. Yeah, we have carried away a lot. But let me read Joshua. This comment. Joshua said, if the CDC government allowed the CDC COP group themselves at the Rabat International Airport to protest against this will be the end of the COVID-19 or the beginning of the tremendous increase of COVID-19 in Liberia. The preventive measures of the virus will never be taken serious by any normal citizen in this country. We are patiently waiting and watching to see that violation of